Hello there! Today is day 11 of working on an untitled project, so let's hop right in. So today was, so I started out researching music a bit. I might have a lead on a musician to work on the project, so fingers crossed on that. So I was just making a bunch of notes in a Google Doc about some music. I need to keep doing that. I should probably just do a little bit of that each day, to be discussed. In terms of work on the project directly, you can see there's another playtest out. I made another one today. I worked out the player controller and got it to a point where I'm actually pretty happy with how it feels. I kind of ditched the other variants and I've just elected to go with this one for right now. And I've made a bunch of presets because this one can do what the other ones were trying to do anyways. So I've made a bunch of presets for the player controller, and this is what the playtest is all about, is testing out these presets and seeing which ones the players like, which ones they dislike, and why. And it's, just setting several values around and the speed, acceleration, and the camera speed, and seeing how it feels. And if you want to, you can also just input your own values and break everything if you really want to, but that I'm sure some people do this, and that's okay. Like I'm glad people can have fun with the project. But clearly I'm hoping for feedback on what's actually useful, what would actually serve the game well. I also increased the number of projectiles shotgun fires and decreased the spread a bit. I kind of agreed that it didn't feel quite good enough, so trying this out. Hopefully this feels a bit better. You're also immortal in this particular playtest, so well, effectively immortal. You can die, but it takes a really long time. Yeah, in terms of which ones I like right now, that's all the core stuff for today. Pretty short. If you want to hear me ramble, feel free to stick around. If you want to just dip, feel free to click off. So, in terms of the player controller, in terms of what I like, I've been drawn to the lower accelerations a bit, along with one of my friends who was helping me with this. They were helping me out with this. It's just a bit more weighty. Like, you have to think through where exactly you're going to be. You have to think of about the enemies and what they're trying to do, and this is just a good feeling. You're still able to move around. Like, the speed is increased from 5.5 to 10, so you're able to move around a lot more effectively. I also increased how far the shots go out for the shotgun. I forgot to mention that. So buffs all around, like a lot of buffs. It's now a decent mid-range, almost mid-range weapon. Not quite mid-range, but close. But yeah, there's something about this that feels good. And I agree with my friend on that, is that there's just something about it that it feels like, you have to think through it, it's engaging, it's interesting. And I need to find references for this. Like, I need to go through twin stick shooters and find ones that have movement that's similar to this, if there are any, which I assume that there are. Like, I can't be the first one to make a twin stick shooter like this. Just to see what they do and how they handle stuff. I'm curious. I'm pretty sure a lot of twin stick shooters just handle this as, pinpoint and assume that this is better. Which, don't get me wrong, I have a soft spot for this. This does, ignore me bumping straight into the shield of the charger tank there, but, I'm very much abusing the fact that I'm immortal here. This is a style very common to bullet hell games, and there's good reason why it's popular. It is incredibly precise. Ignore the fact that there's a small glitch that means that the camera's one frame behind the player. That can be solved easily. It's just it's very technical, it's very precise, and this means that you can bob and weave through endless numbers of bullets. Just if you're good enough, you can dodge everything. I'm not good enough, so I will not dodge everything. I will most certainly not dodge everything. But there's good reason why this is what's commonly used in twin stick shooters, from my understanding. I'm not sure exactly how common it is compared to more floaty feeling, but or more weighty motion, but yeah. Going with something that's a little bit in between could be interesting, but I'm curious what the playtesters think. I'm sending it to a few people. I'm also still waiting on 5 other people to do the initial playtest I made, so I haven't sent it to them quite yet. I'm waiting on them to do the initial playtest first, and then I'll send it to them, I think. Though I actually don't know what the best practice for that is, because when you want to playtest something new, do you just send people the new version, even though they haven't tested the old one? Maybe. But it seems maybe a bit rude. Then again, it could also be considered rude to oh, now you're done with one, how about a second one? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the game's also just progressing forwards, and if this was a normal set of playtests, I think I would just move on and just send them the new one and say, hey, just ignore the old one, we're moving on. But this is dedicatedly dedicated just to movement. There are no questions about hey, what do you think of the enemies or the weapons, or there's technically a little bit of that, but it's that's not the focus. The focus is, how does movement feel? Does movement feel good? And just that, so yeah, I think I'm just rambling endlessly at the moment, so I should probably stop it here. Oh, but the other little bits and pieces I want to talk about, I need to figure out how external forces will interact with the new player controller, because especially, it doesn't work with pinpoint. You can't do external forces on a pinpoint movement controller. You just can't. There's too much control. The player has too much control. When you have something that's a bit more weighty, you can. because the player can't quite escape it, but I need to make sure that that actually works and that I don't need to do any special work for it. And that I'm just not sure about. Because the acceleration is really aggressive and it will override external forces really easily. So I need to I just need to I need to experiment with that. Then there's the topic of dashes. Should a dash be added to the game? Because the game could feel better with a dash, maybe. I don't actually know. I'm asking the playtest feedback if people think a dash should be added, and just sort of getting a heat check on that. Just a quick vibe check of like, hey, is that a good idea, bad idea? Does the game need it? I'm not sure it does necessarily, but it might improve the game. It's another one of those things that's like very fundamental, and I need to sort out sooner rather than later if the player has a dash, because that changes how everything is designed. Same with fundamental movement, that's why I made another playtest so early. So, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think that's everything. If you have comments, questions, or ideas, or anything else on your mind, leave a comment below. Thank you for your time. I hope to see you again soon. Take care.